Rebound. Bearcats have upset the number 5 ranked parents of Whitworth University. Out to Eagle Smith, 2-ball or 3. Given 3. This is stolen away by Watts. He'll take it up and lay it up and down, and Watts extends the lead.
All right, so here we go, fellas. Now, I know when I texted you, I talked about the snow game at Portland State, but I'm taking the audience. We're talking about December 29th, 2009. Cam was a senior. Taylor was a sophomore. It was my first year as the head coach, and we were scheduled to play in our game at Portland State in the old Stott Center, which is by no means what the new palace they have at Portland State is now. But it was in the middle of a winter storm, and the methodology and the way we had to get this game to even play it is a hell of a story. We actually got featured D3Hoops.com, the Oregonian, just in the way the Bearcats managed to get to the Stott Center is a hell of a tale. So I brought Cam and Tay back to talk about the game, talk about different memories of different things. So let's start here, you two. Do you remember the snowstorm? Does that, you know what I mean? Did you remember being in Salem as players and like thinking there's a way this game might get postponed?
Yeah, I remember as we started driving, before we left, I thought, all was going to be good. But as we started taking the bus up there, that's when it really started dumping. And I'm like, oh no, and I was so excited because I had like a bunch of my friends coming, in my hometown. So I was really excited too, and they were Division I. So, right. But then it got a little dicey, to say the least.
Tay, what are your memories of that day? I'm sure I probably had a shoot around because the regular scheduled game was a 5 o'clock tip off. So I'm sure we did a shoot around in the afternoon, early maybe.
Yeah, no, I remember that day. I mean, number one, I'm from Hawaii, so I saw snow, and I think anytime I see snow, that stuff's going to get canceled. So everybody told me it was going to go on, and I really, Cam kind of hit the nail on the head. I think it was fine, and when we left Salem, and as soon as we got closer and closer to Portland, it was like we couldn't see out the windows.
Yes.
And I know Cam, the whole bus ride was saying, I got all my family, I got the whole Grand High School coming to my game. Cam was asking for everybody's tickets. He goes, man, nobody's going to come from Hawaii. Anyways.
Yes.
So that's kind of what I remember on the way up there.
So we got on the bus, and I appreciate, shout out to Willamette's SID, Robert McKinney, because I found his write-up of the story that he shared with the national media, and he's got details that I couldn't even remember. So we left campus at about 2:30, and it typically is a 45-minute bus ride. So we took a charter bus because we were playing a D1, like Cam said. We wanted to feel big time. So we took a charter bus instead of the old Willamette vans. We had, if you guys remember, Lomax had his family on the bus with us. So assistant coach Nelson Lomax had his 2 boys, his wife Carrie. All the AD and the associate AD were on the bus with us. It was a big operation for the Bearcats. Do you guys remember the travel group or just the team?
Yeah, no, I remember there was a lot of people on the bus, and Majeski, the AD, was, calling the Portland State people, and I was just freaking out the whole time. This cannot get canceled. I even remember you being like, Cameron, calm down.
Tay, where were you at on the bus? I'm sure that all of us old people were in the front and you guys had the back, but what was the conversations? When did it first dawn on people? Or was it just panicked Cam?
I think everyone was pretty good until we got closer and closer to Portland. But no, everyone on the bus was pretty calm. We were in the back. It was pretty tight. And nobody could really focus because Cam kept saying it's going to be canceled by the time we left Salem.
Did T. Malley,
Mr. Optimistic,
right? Did T. Malley did he have people coming too? Because Terrell Malley, who was with Cam on your staff, right? He was a Portland guy.
The only other PIL guy.
So did
PIL guys, we were excited, man. We get to play in the city,
right? And now, Bearcat people out there listening. During that time in the season, okay, so we had a rough start. Cam broke your wrist early, right?
Yep.
Cam broke his wrist early. And Tay, do you remember that practice when he broke his wrist and immediately ran out saying, "It's bad. Oh, it's bad."
I thought he was overreacting. I thought it was fine, Apparently came back broken. That's probably the only time he was spot on with his overreaction.
So, Cam, you missed our first exhibition game, which was at Boise State. And then we played Menlo and Claremont at home. You were back for that. We split that, which was good. Then we hit a wee bit of a rough patch, and we lost a couple in a row. But going into Portland State, we had beat West Coast Baptist down at Redlands. If you guys remember playing in the Redlands gym, which is the size of a dorm room. But Cam had 27 and 20. You both had double-doubles that West Coast Baptist game. Cam, you went 27 points, 23 rebounds. I know. Pat yourself on the back. Tay, you went 10 points, 14 boards. Okay. We won that game, and then we beat Corbin at Corbin, which I remember was a big win. So we kind of probably were feeling pretty good about ourselves driving to Portland State. I don't know if anybody had any delusions that we were going to beat Portland State, but I think we were excited to play. And if you remember, that team had future NFL player Julius Thomas on it for Portland State. They had Dominic Waters, who was a PIL guy, wasn't he, Cam?
Oh, he's a grand guy.
Yeah, so they had just come off going to the NCAA tournament. So they were kind of a big deal, right? Going up there. So the story continues. We got to Newburgh, and traffic was a dead stop at Newburgh. The snow is actually, and Tay, I know you mentioned seeing snow and everybody panics. Being a Montanan, I'm used to people overreacting in Oregon about the snow. But this was like a legit, it is a blizzard. It is kind of actually gathering and settling into inches of snow. And we were stuck at that Newburgh exit for at least an hour, it feels like. And then in the back, so my question is, you guys remember Bubba Lemon was on this team. Joe Pincala was on this team. It had to be entertaining in the back. Either watching Cam panic or listening to other people. Cody Pastorino. I mean, we had a crew. We had a gang of personalities on this roster. Rob Wood, Shotgun. Go ahead. You guys take it. What were the conversations in the back?
I think what the funniest thing was, it was either, Bubba Lemon trying to not calm Cam down, just hyping him up. That was probably one of the funnier things. And a lot of guys are a lot of guys not from Oregon, a lot of guys from Southern California and myself, and a lot of guys that had never experienced really this blizzard. So we were, number one, wanting to play, didn't know if we were going to, but number two, we were like, this is pretty cool.
Cam, were you calling your family while we were stuck? And according to the article...
Yeah, I was just texting people, okay, the game's pushed back an hour. Okay, the game's pushed back 2 hours. Okay, the game because it just kept getting pushed back. So I was just texting everyone who kept asking me what was going on, and they all wanted to come still.
Do you guys remember the choice the bus driver made? So we were stuck at the I-205 interchange for 2 hours. And we were staring at a Landmark Ford auto dealership, which I'm going to get a picture of, and I'll put on the YouTube stream of our audio. And I was talking to Tyler Geving, the head coach of Portland State at the time, and he told me, he said, hey, listen, if you guys can get here before the Oregon State women's team can move from their hotel to the game, we'll tip our game off first. And we were like, man, we're stuck here. I don't know what we're going to do. And I'm saying these things out loud to the AD, our staff, and our bus driver. God, I wish I could remember his name because he turned out to be a hero. The bus driver went option B across a couple exit lanes and went over a truck route only exit near 294 and got us about 200 yards further than we would have been. And we found a little way to get through a couple jackknife trailers. Do you guys remember the move he made? I remember the round of applause from the back from everybody because we had been stuck there for a while.
I was too dialed in. I was just too dialed in.
Tay, do you remember?
I remember us being thrilled that we moved.
Yeah.
Whether or not it was a mile or 10 feet, I think we were all just happy the bus moves.
So then we still were probably going 20 miles an hour. Forever. We got to the article mentions another log jam on I-405, and we were stopped again. And I remember telling Pincala, You probably had a flip phone, because flip phones then were still in, I think. Do you guys remember what your cell phones looked like then?
I had an iPhone for sure.
Yeah, Cam?
I had a flip phone. I had to struggle.
Oh, I forgot. You really came through it in those times. I told Pencala, hey, check the GPS. How far away are we from Portland State? And Pencala said it's about a mile, and we're literally stuck on I-5, I-405, and the Portland State coach calls me again and said, listen, we want to play this game. And I wanted to play, but I also wanted the paycheck from the guaranteed cash that I wanted to make sure we got from this game. And he says, I don't know how you're going to do it, but if you guys can get here, we'll tip this game off at 8:30 because the Oregon State women won't leave their hotel from about a mile away. And so do you remember the call back? Did you believe me when I called back and said, grab your shit, we're walking?
Oh, yeah. We all wanted to play the game so bad, too, you know? I mean,
yeah.
Just the chance to play Division I opponent was so fun. So, I mean, I remember all of us, as soon as, you know, it was evident we were not going to move. It's like, guys, let's just get there. Like, you know, it's a 10, 15-minute walk. Let's just get our stuff and get there.
Tay?
Yeah, no, I think I think everybody knew you were pretty serious. And again, just like Cam said, we all wanted to play. So I think we probably would want to walk from 205 if we could.
Do you remember, describe the scene as we were walking? Describe what we were literally on. And you guys know Portland better than me. Is that I-5 we're walking towards the Portland State exit?
Yeah, we're walking in the middle of the freeway because it was a dead stop. Obviously we were to the side a little bit, but we were, but there was no traffic moving. So, we had probably like a half a mile to get up and off the freeway to that exit right by the school, then another, 5-10 minute walk to the gym.
Tay,
so it actually wasn't that far.
Yeah. Tay, what are your memories of that?
I remember it was cold. That's all I remember.
You mean the travel gear I got wasn't winterized?
I think it was that was like, what's so funny, that was when we all got a lot of gear, and I still have these sweatpants because they're very comfortable, but
yes.
they were cotton.
Yeah, they were.
And they were not, we got the waterproof stuff the next year, but there was cotton. And I remember everybody was wearing the same thing, and by the time we got to the gym, the bottom of our cotton sweatpants were soaked.
Soaked. I remember being on the walk like you guys, but I remember, Oregonians like to pull to the side of the road in the middle of winter and just go option B. Like, hey, I'm not moving. My car's going to be right here. And I remember either just walking by abandoned cars, or I do remember the face of a lady who was staring at us. She's in her car like, I'm not driving. What are you lunatics doing? Hey, ma'am, how you doing? I don't know. That was probably Rob Wood that said hello. Well, I'm at Bearcat basketball. We're on our way to play a game. Have a good one.
Yeah.
So we got there. Unfortunately, I think Oregon State caught wind of the Bearcats walking, because right when we got there, their game against the Portland State women was tipping off, and that was 8:30. So we went and got Subway. Our game finally tipped off at 10:43 p.m. Cam, did your family make it?
A couple of them. The real dedicated. I had like 4 or 5 friends there, and my parents. Yeah, so a couple of them bailed, but not my true friends stayed all the way through.
My mom and dad were in town. My wife went option B. She stayed home. Nope, not coming with the kids. My mom and dad and my brother were in traffic for like 6 hours. They got there for the second half. Do you guys remember the locker room where they put us in the old Stott Center?
Yeah, there was a pool. We had to walk through a pool, like the pool room.
Wasn't it like the swimming locker room?
It was the deck. It was the pool deck. It was the pool deck.
Pool, and Coach doing the pregame, and we're like, does it smell like chlorine? So bad ready for our game. And it's funny because that's just probably my dad and my stepmom had just had moved to Bend, and they came up for the game, and they stayed at tip off, and I think they stayed the whole game, but they were, it was pushing their bedtimes,
right.
Up that late.
I remember assistant coach Mike Plank. I was upstairs talking to the Portland State AD, making sure everything was okay, and he came and said, "Hey, boss, you're not going to believe this locker room we got. They really set it up nice for us. And I'm like, oh, cool. I should have known that Plank being Plizzle was going to be 85% full of shit. And he leads me through the dungeon onto the pool deck. And he goes, look, they gave us chairs and a whiteboard on the pool deck. But now, the cool thing is the game did not start off great for us. They put together, they were up 32-21 with 9 minutes left. We went on a couple runs. We were down, I think, at halftime. I have the box score here. We were down 13 at halftime. I have no recollection. I remember the game. I don't remember any halftime speeches. Like, I don't know what I said, but you guys won the second half, 52-43, and we actually got within 80-74 with 6:30 to go, and we got again within 4 with less than a minute left. What parts of the game do you guys remember?
I remember, obviously, like, their length and athleticism was hard to adjust to in the beginning. I think that's why we probably struggled so much. But,
yeah.
For me, once I got my, all I need is a couple buckets, and then I'm like, I don't care who I'm going against.
Right.
So by the second half, even though their big was had me by probably 30 pounds and a couple inches, I was just confident. I knew I could just kind of score him at will.
Tay, I remember calling Hoya 3 straight times. Do you remember these in the second half? Buckets. So for everybody listening, I'm a huge Georgetown fan, and Georgetown at the time was slicing and dicing people with a flare back cut slip. And our Tay was really good at the flare. Robbie Kunke was really good at throwing the slip, even if nobody cut at the particular time. But Tay got 2 straight back cuts. Tay had 13 and 5. Cam, you had 28 and 9. Kunke had 10 assists. T. Malley had 10 and 6. Marcus had 10 and 6. But I remember 2 straight back cut buckets for you, Taylor. And then Kunke had a great read where Julius Thomas was coming over to destroy you on your third back cut. And he threw it to Cam. And Cam, I don't know if you bammed out or you might have just tapped out really hard and screamed, but that cut it to 4.
Yeah, it was a tap out.
I remember those games. I remember specifically Julius Thomas because I think we knew he was good. I mean, nobody ever thought he was going to play in the NFL or anything like that. But we all knew that he was very athletic. And I remember the first time, I think I took a charge, or Robbie took a charge on him as he was flying. And it was ended up calling the charge. And I think from then on, when he drove down the lane, we got out of his way.
Yes. We got out of his. The good thing was,
go ahead. I'm not going to be on SportsCenter.
They didn't give him the ball much. You know what I mean? You know who I remember specifically? Dominic Waters being so mad at Terrell, Cody Pastorino, and Marcus Holmes because they were just gloving him. I remember.
He was nice too. Yeah.
Yes, and he got like a technical foul, didn't he? Let me check the box score. Cam, do you remember this?
Fouled out.
Yeah, he fouled out.
And he had like 9 turnovers.
Yes, he does. Yeah, there it is. 5 fouls, 9 turnovers, and he was upset with our legion of little quick guys. Probably especially Cody Pastorino, who was an All-American strong safety, and really enjoyed just guarding the shit out of people. What else, guys? What do you remember? The end? Do you remember? How did we get home? Did we eat?
No, I think it had died down by then because we got home pretty.
We got home. I think we got home pretty quickly and it died down. But I think we had stopped to get. I think we'd have been to like Safeway or something because nothing else was open, and we went in the grocery store. It was just like, hey, get a
Yes.
sandwich or get what you can.
Right.
For everybody listening, D3 is not as we don't have food waiting for us in our locker room when we get out of the
right.
the game.
There's no training table.
Exactly. Right.
Hey, this article claims that Kunke had a breakaway dunk. Did that happen?
Yeah, he did.
I don't remember. Oh my goodness, that's probably an all-timer. Cam, do you remember another milestone on this game that was important for you?
I believe that's when I got my thousandth point.
Yes, sir. That is. Both of you guys are career 1,000-point scorers. Cam, you got yours on a bucket in the first half, it says.
Okay.
Well, not bad. Did we take a timeout to celebrate you? I hope I didn't.
No, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. You told me after the game. You told me after the game. I had no idea.
We probably did, and we probably said 1, 2, 3, Cam.
I was just about to go there, Tay. Tell that story. It might have been this game. He had 28 and 10.
It was this game. Anyways, Cam was hot. Yeah, Cam was that bad at that player. I'm not going to dispute that. And so we're getting the huddle, and Cam probably has 6 straight baskets, and we're getting a huddle call another play for Cam, as we usually did. And at the end of the huddle, usually people say 1, 2, 3 Bearcats. Well, Kip goes, all right, 1, 2, 3 Cam. And we're walking out, and me and Ryan Meehan both look at each other, and we're like, did he just say Cam?
Hey, I like to be a truth teller, guys. Where's our bread buttered, huh? You know?
Exactly. I appreciate it.
You and Meehan both went 4 for 8. You got 16 shots, 25 points between the two of you. We spread it around. On a good note, that team, that 2009-10 team, you guys had 5 guys average double figures. Cam, Taylor, Terrell, Marcus Holmes, and Meehan. All of you guys were 10 points or better, and we scored a lot of buckets. I'm not sure we guarded a lot of people, but we scored the hell out of it. We had this. So this game was 97-91. Portland State won. I think in a lot of ways we actually won. I remember reading in the Oregonian, Coach Geving from the Portland State staff said, we didn't do anything but outscore a D3 team tonight. Hats off to them for putting 90 on us.
God, how was that film session?
I bet it wasn't. I know ours was probably great. We probably watched some highlights.
Well, I think for us, I remember you said you couldn't really remember what happened at halftime. I think the message was, hey guys, we're here. I mean, kudos to us for being at the moment of playing hard, and I think the time at halftime was 11:30, 11:45.
Yes.
So, what did the game end at 1 o'clock?
It says 1:15 p.m. It ended.
I think to even play the game was great. Number one, and number two, being able to. We lost to Division I team by 6, and
yeah.
I think they had a pretty good year. They were probably 500.
Yep. They were 7-6 coming in.
Yeah, right.
And I think for me, unfortunately, I think I've judged every exhibition game since then based on that score, and we have not been that close since. So that was probably a false positive test for me, but it was an impressive performance. Cam, last thoughts, last memories.
Yeah, it was just a fun. I mean, it was like a really team bonding kind of experience.
Mm-hmm.
Just running on the freeway with your guys and going in and feeling big time, playing Division I school, and then kind of being able to play them so tightly. I think gave us a lot of confidence going in. So it was a really fun night.
And that season, you guys ended that season winning 6 of your last 8 games. So it was, I think there's some part of it that probably exactly built confidence, built a lot of trust in each other. And to this day, I mean, obviously you two still see a lot of each other. Cam, you still see T. Malley. We see Meehan a lot. So that group has kind of maintained some of those connections. Tay, wrap it up for us.
No, I totally agree with Cam. I think it's funny you talk about college sports. A lot of people say they'll miss the games and everything, but I think number one we miss is the experiences, on the bus and in the locker room, and again, like cancer walking across the freeway. I think none of us can really remember the game. I think you got to pull up the stat sheet, but I think all of us remember what it was like to be on the bus and what it was like to, talk about the next day. I mean, how cool is it that we got to do that? And then number two, I mean, we got to play a guy that next. 2 years later, we saw the guy in the NFL, and
right.
And we had no idea that he. We knew he was very athletic, but nowhere did we think he was going to be playing in the Super Bowl.
Right.
To get catching passes from Peyton Manning. That was pretty incredible.
I appreciate you guys joining us. Take care during these scary times. We appreciate everybody listening. Bearcat Hoop Audio Series 2020.